Welcome back to Harvard. That was documentary filmmaker, the great Michael Moore, endorsing Bernie Sanders over the weekend at Sanders' first campaign event since he suffered a heart attack at the beginning of the month. What a wild, 26,000 people in Queens. Sanders' campaign estimate that 26,000 people showed up to the rally in Queens. Joining me right now is the man who's showing up right now, Michael Moore. Let me ask you about this, because I don't think you were a man of strong ideology or strong progressive views. That's why you're famous and you're iconic. But there's a personal endorsement of a guy, a human being. At 78, can he go the distance all the way through 4 years of the presidency, do you think, from what you know?
Absolutely. What I saw on Saturday, I saw him give a speech, I don't went an hour and a half. He didn't use that lectern as a crutch or anything. He stood there and powerfully told the people that what we have to do to make this a better country. It was so amazing. And if you've been there, I'll tell you, it wasn't the old Bernie stump speech. He talked about love and compassion and decency. But he had this at the end. He said, I want everybody to find somebody in the crowd that doesn't look like you, that doesn't your skin color, isn't your religion. And I want you to look at that person. I want you to ask yourself this question. Would you fight for them as hard as you would fight for yourself? Because if you would, that's the America that's going to survive. That's the American that's going to succeed.
It's a great New York message, too.
It was so powerful.
You know, I like it when he gets off ideology, just talks about humanity and that. That's the key thing.
People need to see more of that. I've known this guy for 30 years, and he really...
Okay, let's talk about how politics works. Politics is about opportunity. It's not, every election is not the same. There are elections you can't win. Nobody's going to knock off Reagan in the second term, no matter who they were. Right. Maybe Gary Hart would have been better, but nobody's going to knock off Nixon in the second term. It was undoable. But there are opportunities that come along. Not just open seat presidencies, but when a president's weak. I worked for Jimmy Carter, but I accept the fact he was politically weak. Reagan comes along, a man of the hard right. Is this a year that someone of the hard left, the progressive left, that normally wouldn't win, can actually win the presidency because of the weakness of this president with all his horrors? The
weakness of this president and the fact that Bernie, as you say, from the hard left, he is perceived as the real deal. He's outside the box the way Trump was. He's not he's not seen as the system, even though he's a senator. He's an independent. He's still not a member of the Democratic Party.
I noticed.
Yes. So
we keep count.
But, no, but people like that.
But do you think because of his personal character that he is a man to himself?
Everybody knows, whether you agree with him or not, that this is somebody who will not sell out. This is not somebody you can buy off. If he was going to cash in, it would have happened long ago.
Well, let me just tell you, I've been going to anti-war rallies since the 60s, and Bernie was there. I saw him behind a card table selling the literature.
Yes.
I know.
No, he was there in the early 60s in Chicago getting arrested for civil rights.
That's his bona fides, you're right. A new CNN poll today shows that 41% of Americans approve of President Trump's handling of his job. I just want to talk to you about that, because you are a man of the people. Ever since Roger and me and Flint, Michigan, well before the water problem and everything else, you were looking out for people like yourself. Your father worked in the factories. Your mother was working out there, just trying to make it. You're a real person. Why do people like you, except for your politics, stick with this guy? Because 41%, who are these people? I got a brother like this. I love my brother, but he talks to me like Trump is triumphant right now.
Why do people that I know back home?
Yeah, who grew up with the same background you had, stick with Trump. Working class white people, if you will, working class people generally.
Well, you said the key word, white. Sadly, I think it is a racial thing on some level with a lot of people. But here, let me say it in a different way. I think that white guys, the lunch bucket Joes from Macomb County,
right across from outside of Detroit.
Yes. They can see the writing on the wall. The women are coming. They've arrived last November. We are now, this is the 8th September in a row where the majority of first graders in this country last month were not white.
Majority?
Majority were not
Either
white.
Hispanic or African-American or Asian.
Correct. So we now see the demographic shift that by the 2040s, white people will be the minority. And I think that there's some level of fear about that, probably in the way that white people in South Africa were afraid what's going to happen to Mandela and the black majority. But of course, what happens is, what history shows...
But the people in South Africa really earned the trouble they got.
Yeah.
They were wrong for years, really bad.
But But here we have African Americans who are still on the bottom rung of the ladder after all these years. And those of us who are white, especially white guys, still having that door open just a little bit easier for us. And we know it. We know that we're not followed around when we go to the department store. We know that, you know, listen, we just...
Look, I know what you're talking about.
We're
nobody's looking at you in the restaurant. Nobody's looking at you.
No, that's correct. So Black Americans still have it pretty damn rough, and
so that spreads fear into white voter, and he votes white.
Yes, because some white voters are afraid that you don't want to, when you're in power, you don't want to lose what you have. And let's face it, white guys have
but working class guys who are struggling along, they're struggling class, you know, working paycheck, they don't think they're elite. They don't think of themselves as privileged.
No, but they don't, but they've been told to fear the other.
I know. That's
the other's coming to take it from you.
Okay, let's be positive.
Yes.
I agree with you.
I like that.
Because I like to hear from you on this. Because I think it is, culture's so powerful, and not just economics. Pelosi, I'm a hero. I have a new hero in life. And I resisted her because she resisted. But I get the feeling that she's got her eye on the prize. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. I want to, there should be a statue already being made to her, because regardless of, say, what my political differences might be with her, she has played this masterfully, and even her opponents have to admit that. What happened today, I think John Meacham just said it in the last break there, that this is the moment today. You and I are sitting here.
Hang on to it.
The Alexander Butterfield Day. Exactly
when we got about the tapes, when you found out about the tapes.
Yes.
I just hope they can stay focused for a couple weeks and do it.
No, they have to do it, and not for, it has to happen now. Don't draw this out.
I'm with you. I don't want to get monuments closed down the road. So many things to do.
No.
Please, do you hear me, Democrats? Do you hear Michael Moore?
Yes, please.
Get it done before Thanksgiving. Then you'll have something to be thankful for.
Done. Yes, right.
You're a man of history, sir.
Thank you for that.
And your movies are something. Well, what's next?
You're kind to say that. Well, I'm working on something for the election year here. That
for 2020.
Yes, that I'll be able to announce maybe in another month or so. But it's pretty. I hope.
Wide distribution.
Well, it's something that I haven't done before, so it's. I think. I hope will have a powerful impact.
Well, your 9/11 movie is the greatest documentary movie in history. Remember?
Yeah, well, thank you for...
Fahrenheit. Well, it's a fact. It's a financial fact.
No, yes, it is a financial fact, but I also know the impact it had.
And the Palme d'Or.
And it won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. Yes, but can I just say, your next guest, Senator Klobuchar, I was just talking to her over there. She was telling me this wonderful story of going on a bike trip across Michigan when she was 19 with her father, and they had a cycling accident. He broke his cheekbone. And she told me the hospital that she took him to, and it was the same hospital where I had my tonsils out when I was 10. It's just a little story that had nothing to do with anything. But because we were talking about the National Institute of Health before we came on, where you went. Yeah. And we're all so glad that you're back and you're alive and you're thriving.
Thank you.
And thank you to the people there.
Good medicine. I'm big on doctors these days.
Yes.
I really think they know.
Well, we all know how we need that now.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Michael Moore, you're a good man. Thank you, sir. Michael Moore. Up next.